The morning light filtered through the blinds, soft and warm like any other day, but something felt off. Too still, too quiet. I pulled the covers back and stepped into the hallway, barefoot, uneasy. The silence clung to the walls like fog. When I reached the living room, my breath caught. It was empty, not just clean, gone. No couch, no TV, no framed photos of holidays and anniversaries. The shelves were bare, the air hollow. My heart started to race as panic clawed at my chest. At first, I thought we had been robbed, but the door was locked, windows intact, no sign of forced entry. And then I saw it, a single note on the kitchen counter, written in handwriting I knew like my own. His, "Happy New Year, Natalie. I hope this fresh start is better than the last. Goodbye." That's all it said. No emotion, no explanation, just finality. My knees buckled, and I collapsed into the nearest chair, hands shaking as the paper fluttered in my grip. Yesterday, he was here. We were here, laughing about dinner, talking about resolutions. And now, nothing, just a memory wiped clean. His name was Lucas. 3 years earlier, I met him during my internship at a consulting firm. He was a team supervisor. Sharp eyes, quiet confidence, and a smirk that felt like a secret. We clicked instantly. What started as work banter turned into late-night conversations, accidental touches, knowing glances. 8 months later, he proposed during a snowy weekend in the mountains, kneeling in the snow with flushed cheeks and shaking hands. I said yes without hesitation. We were the couple people envied. Moved into a bigger home when he landed a higher-paying job. Talked about baby names, painted nurseries in our heads, built a future like it was written in stone. My own career was rising too, but with it came pressure, long hours, missed dinners, and eventually wine. At first, it was just a glass at the end of the day, a way to unwind. But the glass turned into two, then a bottle, then hiding bottles. Lucas noticed. He was gentle at first, concerned, supportive, then firm. He pleaded with me to slow down, to take a break, to get help. I brushed it off, swore I had it under control, but I didn't. I spiraled, until one night, I blacked out completely and woke up in a place I didn't recognize, ashamed and scared. That was my wake-up call. I checked myself into a recovery program, took 6 months off, and Lucas, he stayed. Through it all, he showed up to therapy sessions, drove me to meetings, cooked for me when I couldn't get out of bed, loved me in ways that I didn't even know I needed. That kind of loyalty, it makes you believe you're invincible. That love like that can weather anything. I was wrong. When I returned to work, I got assigned to a new project. New supervisor. His name was Ethan. Charismatic, full of charm and warmth. The kind that made everyone laugh at meetings even when the deadlines loomed. Lucas didn't trust him. Said something about him felt too polished, too strategic. I called it jealousy. I told Lucas he was imagining things. But I didn't stop texting Ethan. I didn't stop taking calls after hours. One night, during a breakdown at work, Ethan brought me coffee, asked if I was okay. I let my guard down, told him things I hadn't even said to Lucas. I confessed my guilt, how I still didn't feel whole, how I feared relapsing even in my best moments. He listened, too closely, and then I kissed him. It wasn't planned. It wasn't passionate. It was broken and confusing and full of self-hate. We pulled away immediately, both of us stunned, ashamed. We swore it meant nothing, that we pretend it never happened. But you can't undo a moment like that. You can't erase it. People noticed. The energy shifted. Our coworkers whispered. The rumors found their way to Lucas. He confronted me, looked at me like he didn't recognize me, asked directly. I lied, said it was gossip, nothing more. I didn't have the courage to tell him the truth. Not then. I told myself it would only hurt him, that I was protecting us. But deep down, I knew I was just protecting myself. As the year came to a close, I tried to mend things. I made his favorite meals. Talked about stepping away from the project. He softened little by little. We even promised each other a clean slate for the new year. Hope was back in his eyes. I saw it. Then came the company's New Year's Eve party. Ethan suggested Lucas come, to show there were no hard feelings. I agreed, thought it might ease the tension. It was a mistake. That night, the noise and champagne and laughter buzzed through my veins. I hadn't touched a drop of alcohol since recovery, but something in me cracked. The pressure, the crowd, the exhaustion pretending. One sip felt harmless. It wasn't. One sip became 2, then 3, then 5. Lucas pulled me aside. Concern etched all over his face. I brushed him off, laughed it off, told him I was fine. And just before midnight, with a drink in hand, I stood between Lucas and Ethan. The countdown echoed in the background. I toasted with Ethan. I hugged him, and I kissed him. Not a mistake this time. Not hidden. Lucas saw everything. The next morning, I woke up alone. The bed cold, the house quiet. I stumbled into the living room, already sensing it. His keys were gone. His things gone. Just a note. No yelling. No fight. Just silence that screamed. I tried to call. Messaged him over and over. Nothing. I met Ethan at a cafe, desperate for answers. He told me Lucas had seen the kiss, had left the party without a word, come home, and packed his life away while I slept off my shame. Now, I live in a small apartment that echoes with everything I've lost. The walls are blank, the air stiff. I've stayed sober. I go to meetings. I keep busy. But there's a space in my chest where Lucas used to live, and nothing fills it. He never reached out again. And I don't blame him. He stood by me through every broken moment, through darkness, addiction, and despair. And when he needed me to choose him, to protect what we had, I let him down. I kissed someone else while he was watching. Some people think love ends in screaming matches and slammed doors. But sometimes it ends in silence, in choices made when no one's looking, in lies told to avoid consequences, in failing the one who believed in you the most. If someone holds your hand through your worst days, don't give them a reason to let go when you finally start to feel whole. Because some mistakes don't just ruin love. They erase it.